Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. First time watching, please consider subscribing to my channel so that you can get notified. Click that little bell so you can get notifications on every time I put out a new video. I try to do these at least once a day. Try to keep it between 15 minutes and 30 minutes. Share whatever is on my mind for the day. Provide some possible nuggets for you guys to take advantage of and learn from. If you're not skilled, you're new, maybe you know less than I know, maybe you know more than I know. Everyone has different skill sets, so I kind of just throw stuff out there, and if you haven't heard about it before or if you haven't learned a skill set already, just consider taking some notes and following up on your own, doing some research on YouTube and Google, and just kind of dig in. So it's going to be really up to you if you take the time to learn, take the time to grow, and take the time to grow into that person you need to be if you want to be an online entrepreneur where you're going to be able to build teams and share and lead and provide content just like I'm doing here to your teammates and to people that you'll want to find on the internet that's looking for what you have. And maybe they'll want to join your team or follow you and become part of your network of influence. So before we get into the video, I just want to share that I am on Facebook. I have about another 1,000 people that can become friends with me. So if you're on Facebook and you have an interest on becoming a friend of mine and following me on Facebook, I try to put out some posts daily on just kind of mindset, keep you guys positive, always think on the positive side of things, no matter how bad it is. It's not that bad. You fail, you learn. And if you fail, the important thing is to learn from your failure and to fix what you failed upon. Like if, for example, you did something stupid or you posted something that shouldn't have been posted, or maybe you didn't follow up with that lead fast enough, right? I mean, you can fire yourself today and hire yourself again tomorrow. That's the good thing about owning your own business. You have no one but yourself to answer to, and no one's going to do the work but yourself. So don't always depend on your upline for doing something for you. Look to them for guidance. Look for them for resources. Look for them for all the things you need to succeed. But in the end, you know, I kind of posted it a couple days ago, right? Let's see here. Right here. No coach or trainer can make you good or great or unstoppable if you're not committed to doing the work. So no matter what I say here, no matter what I share with you guys, if you don't take ownership for your destiny and your future and realize that you got to do it yourself, you got to go on that journey, you got to grow as a person, you got to be consistent. You got to be persistent. You can't worry about failure. You got to learn from your failures and move on. Look for people that are looking for you. Don't dwell on people that you got to drag down the street. When they're ready, they'll come find you. Just focus on people that are ready to run with you. Focus on the people that have the positive mindset. Think of this. When you get people involved in your opportunities, do you want someone that's going to drain you and just drain you and then just drain you? Or do you want someone that you can even learn from and mastermind with, and you think of them as the other people that are your board of directors? If you own a company, who else would you want to be in that company with you at the leadership level? Those are the people you're looking for. Don't worry about the people that aren't ready. Don't worry about the people that are always negative about everything and woe is me, woe is that, why does this always happen to me? That's their mindset. Let them be. Let them figure it out for themselves. You know, don't be rude to them. Don't push them away. But don't spend your 80% of your time with those people. Spend the 80% of the time with the people that want to run with you, that people want to learn, the people that are committed, the people that are looking to better themselves. And the only way you're going to better yourself is with self-development. So there's the 80-20 rule. Focus on the 80% of your time. Focus on those that are leaders, that are looking to become leaders, that are committed and are not afraid to fail, and are not they don't fear getting out of their comfort zones, that they can learn new skill sets. Those are the people you want to help groom Those are the people you want to share information with. When the other people are ready, they'll figure it out. Just meet them where they are, and that's it. That's all you can do. You cannot possibly talk to every single person on your team all the time. You got to start leveraging your time. You got to start making videos. You got to start sharing videos to the world. Let people that are interested come to you, open up a dialogue with you, start following with you, and have a two-way conversation. No matter who's on your team, if they don't talk to you and they don't reach out to you to explain that they're having a problem or this or that, and the next thing you know, they come around and say, oh, it's a scam, it didn't work. You know what? They had the time. They should have taken the advantage of reaching out to you. They should have taken the time to learn what they needed to do to succeed. Again, you're not going to make them succeed. You're going to share the information with them, and then it's up to them to do what they need to do to succeed. Again, 99% of the people that call things scams are those that are not looking inward, those that are not looking to become a better person, those are not looking to help others. As you help more people, then in turn you're going to get more back. I believe in karma. I believe on putting your best foot forward, helping everyone, giving everyone a chance, and then it's kind of up to them. And at some point, you cannot drag those people along with you. It's going to be tiring, and you're going to get tired. You're going to get frustrated, and just, don't do that, okay? So anyway, this is my point to you. No matter how much information you take in, if you're just going to continue taking it in and not doing anything about it or practicing or putting it in action, you're not going to get anywhere. Reading a book is meaningless if you don't use the knowledge you learned or try the knowledge. So learn, do, teach. Create that cycle. Learn, do, teach. Learn something new. Do whatever you just learned. And then when you become good at it, train it, teach it to others. Put it out there for others to learn. Don't be greedy. Don't be selfish. Don't be scared of your own shadow, thinking that you know this and because no one else knows that, you have job security. I mean, there's so many people in this world that are not sharing with others because they think they have the upper edge. Just realize in corporate America, no matter who you are, what you know, and what you can do, you're replaceable. So don't ever think just because something you have some edge that they won't get rid of you. It's very likely that no matter what, if you're not making the return on investment for the company, if you're not making the company more than what they're paying you, you're not going to stay there very long, right? So it's just like your business. If you're not putting out to the world more than what you're getting back, you're not going to succeed. So the more you give, the more you're going to get back, but you got to provide the service. You got to provide the knowledge. You got to provide the information to other people so that they can create the leverage that you're creating. This is the only business where you actually do better as you help other people more. That's totally different than the 9-to-5 mentality. In 9-to-5 mentality, you're punching the clock, you're doing what you need to do, and you could care less what anyone else knows because the more you know and the less they know, the better chance you have job security. So that's one of the biggest things. Hang on, I'm sorry for this phone call. All right, I'm back. So basically what I'm trying to say to you is you got to get out of the 9-to-5 mentality, the employee mentality, and realize that, you gotta think more of an entrepreneur. You got to think of abundance. You got to give, and you will receive. All right, so the biggest thing you're going to have to go through in hurdles in terms of making it online, making it as your own business, whatever it may be, even if it's a brick and mortar, whatever it may be, it's always about providing a service or a solution to someone's problem. So the more you provide, the more you assist, and the more you guide, you're enabling your teammates and you're enabling others to succeed, which in turn will help you succeed. Okay? So enough with my little 5-minute rant, 10-minute rant. Wow, sorry guys. All right, so let's move on in here. Wanted to just kind of show you, this is my portfolio. It's Residual Income TV. It's a $10 a month service. Basically allows you to put everything in one place. I'm not going to dig into the details of each one of these opportunities. The link for this will be in the video description. You can come here and take a look for yourself. Read all the details. Watch the video if it's interesting to you. and then certainly get started. If you start in any of these, just make sure you send me your referral link. I kind of went over it in another day, but in here, in the Conversion Pros, you have the ability to create a link rotator. So I create link rotators for all of these opportunities, and for all my teammates that send me their, after they get started with the opportunity, they just can't sign up and do nothing. But if they actually get active and they do things, they send me their referral link, and then I add them to the individual referral links for each one of these. And then when I go out and advertise and post information on social media and different groups and sites, you have a chance that you may get a referral from my efforts for my team. So I do that for my team as a way of giving back, a way of giving you a chance to earn some commissions, especially if you're brand new and you don't know how to do that. It's a chance for you to have an opportunity to possibly earn. Again, there's no guarantees, but I put it out there. If someone clicks on it, it randomly picks one of the, say for example, if you're in Future Ad Pro and you send me your link, I have a list of people that are on my team that are part of this random link. And when I advertise, someone on my team's links will randomly show up. And if the person that clicks on that advertisement is interested in getting started, there's a chance they may get started with your link if you're the random link that pops up at that time. So it's all in goodness. It's all in, like, team building type thing. So the more you build, the more I help you build your teams, the more you're going to get paid. The more I get paid. It's always about helping others, and you help yourself at the same time, right? All right, so anyway, you can come to the site. The link is in the video description. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Check out the Show More in the video description. You'll see a link for this Residual Income TV page. I call it my portfolio. See here? No. What's the best way to show you? Let me go to YouTube, my channel. Alright, so for example, if you come here and you watch this video, underneath here there's more text that I put, so you have to click this Show More button, and then from there you can see some more details about the video, and then ways that you the other opportunities in my portfolio that you can get started with. But then if you want to go and actually look at my portfolio, you could click here. Also, if you're on my Facebook page, if you just click on my banner and then click on this little link here, it'll also take you to my page. So that's the best way for you to check out what I'm up to, see which opportunities may be best for you, depending on your budget, depending on your skill set, and depending on what your interests are. So take the time, come take a look. There's a lot of stuff here, and it's a nice way to share with others, where you just give them one link and they can see everything. Instead of you sending, like, talk to them about one, they're not interested, then you got to talk to them about another one, they're not interested, talk to them about another one, they're not interested. And by the time you're done, you probably sent them 15 different links, whereas if you would have just sent them here, they would have the chance to read on their own. They have it all packaged nicely in front of them, no chaos, it's nice and it's placed nice. There's, they could read about it, they could watch a video, they could read about it, they could watch a video, and if they decide they want to get started, your link is right here. You put your link right here, the website link. That's your referral link that you put, and they can get started with you if they decide that they're interested in whatever specific opportunity that's most interesting to them. So again, it's $10 a month. I think there's a 1 week free trial. Try it out for free, and then if you decide you want to keep it, it'll cost you $10 a month. And I guarantee you're going to end up making more than $10 a month using this, because they'll see that you're serious about your business, and they'll want to follow you, and in some point in the future they'll even join you on some of your opportunities. And in fact, if you decide you want to, you could even make this an income earning opportunity as well. Each person that actually joins you and starts for the $10, you get a little bit of a commission from that every month. So very quickly you could actually earn enough to pay for this itself just by sharing this page with others. So when you start making videos or doing whatever, you could let people know that they could join here. They could do the same thing you're doing, and they can earn some commissions if they build others. I mean, this is actually an income stream. So just because I use it mainly for advertising and sharing with you guys doesn't mean it's not one of my income streams. So again, you guys can do the same very quickly. Just by sharing this with others, you could probably make more than your 10 bucks that you're spending, and then it becomes a no-brainer, right? If you're making more than you're spending, it's profitable, or at least break even. All right, so the topic of my video, I have another 15 minutes. I want to keep it within 30. So cryptocurrencies. So we're doing pretty good. We're on a pretty good rebound since the low. And I want to just show you something very interesting. Now, I'm certainly not going to take credit for finding this on my own, but I will say that, you know, I do watch a lot of, I follow a lot of people, I watch a lot of videos. People put out some really good content, and you should get into the habit of doing the same. You know, pick a couple people that you're interested in, follow them, watch their videos when they put it out, and you'll start taking away nuggets, and you'll start getting an idea of like what other people are up to. And then from there, you mold your own, you know, you become your own person based on the best inputs and the best things you take away from multiple people. So follow at least 5 people that either have what you want in terms of money, time freedom, lifestyle, whatever it may be. Whatever attracts you to that person, follow at least 5 people that are doing well and take away whatever resonates best with you. So like whatever you like that person's talking about, you don't have to follow blindly of everything they're doing, but take away things from each of those 5 people and mold your own, you know, your own brand and your own personality out of all the individual inputs that you're getting from other people. All right, so what I want to talk about is Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. You know, as you can see, before we get into the details here, for the most part, a lot of the cryptos follow the path of Bitcoin. Maybe not exactly in the details, but when there's an upward trend, you know, for the most part, most of them will follow, right? There's only a couple. I mean, not even here because it did come back. This is a little bit down, the tether, a little downtrending. But if you really come here, you really don't see any that are inverse. Maybe this one, Nixon. I don't even know what this is. This one went down a little bit. But for the most part, you know, you can pick your currency, whatever it may be. Unless it's, you know, make sure you do the research and you figure out what's good for you and what ones you like. Don't just randomly pick a coin. Make sure you agree with the use case, the product, the service, or the you know, what it's all about. So don't just randomly pick a coin. But I guess my point is, what the next discussion I'm having will probably be applicable to all of these, since they pretty much follow Bitcoin in terms of, you know, over a month period or so, it does basically the same as what Bitcoin is doing, right? So the next screen I'm going to share, this is TradingView. So I pay for the premium package for TradingView because it's a professional charting system. You can do technical analysis on here. You can set alerts to get alerted when certain things happen. So basically, instead of just blindly investing or trading just because you think it's a good time to get in, what you should really be doing is setting traps and setting alarms when those traps are being broke. So once the chart falls into your trap, that signals you that something interesting is happening, and you should probably think about placing that trade that you have planned on. So just you're not just ad hoc. You're not just like, oh, let me just buy this today. Not unless you're a long-term holder do you do that. If you're looking to trade, get in and out, be a day trader, intraday trader, scalp trader, whatever it may be, you got to set your traps, and you got to wait for the confluence, or what they call multiple things pushing you into the trade. Every time you're looking to do a trade, you should be looking for, and I'm not a negative person, but when it comes to trading, you should be looking at every reason why not to do the trade. And if you can't find anything that tells you you shouldn't do the trade, then you're kind of validating the fact that you should do the trade. So you got to approach it in a different perspective to rule out all options, and you got to try and be unbiased. I mean, I'll admit, just like other people that I follow online here admit I'm very positively biased for all cryptos. So it's always hard for me to go on the short sale. I always am positive. I believe in crypto. I think it's going to go, much higher, and I find it hard to bet against crypto. But when I show you this next thing here since January, now again, I'm not taking credit for this. There's a person on YouTube that I follow that I actually saw him talk about this, and I thought it was pretty damn cool. So I apologize for the language, but basically what he has shown for the new year, since January of this year, since 2018, a very important thing has happened on a specific date every month since January so far. And we're approaching that date in next 3 days. So when I kind of show you what's going on here, I want you to just take it in, analyze it for yourself for what it's worth. I'm not giving you advice of investment advice. I'm not approved to do that. I'm not an advisor. So this is just what I took away from somebody else, my own visualization of this chart, and just wanted to share with you like why sometimes it's good to take a bigger picture of a chart and not just worry about like the details that's happening here, like, right? So if you look just here, you're not going to get the perspective that I'm going to share with you right now. So I have it on a 3-hour chart. This goes all the way back to December. And let's start most recent. Let's zoom in a little bit here, up front here, though. Let's start here. Let's keep the rest off the page. I just want to start showing you something. So most recently, from this high, it's been a downward trend, right? I mean, it's very obvious, right? So let's just draw a downward trend here. Let me take off this magnet because I'm not looking to. All right, so there's been a downward trend. Now, let's do this now. Let's zoom in a little closer. All right, so somewhere around the 6, right? Let's put a line there. Let's do a vertical line on the 6th. So right around there. All right, so a downward trend started happening there. Now let's go back another month. Let's go back to, that was May 6th. Let's go to April 6th. That's fine, April 6th. April 6th. All right, so there's a couple lows here. This is another kind of a low. Right around there. Somewhere around here. Give or take a day or so, of course. It's not going to be exact, but it's very curious to see what, let's see. Now let's pick that. Okay? So from the 6th of April to May 6th, there was an upward momentum, right? An upward, it was upward. Price went up. All right? Now let's go back another month. Let's go back to, what is this, March 3rd, right? March 3rd would be the next one? Yeah. So let's pick the vertical line. Let's find March 6th. Right here, somewhere right here. Boom. All right, so that's March 6th. Now what happened there? On March 6th, a downward trend. See this shift? This is like the center of the flatness, right? Right here, it shifted upward. Boom. But look at this. Right here, from the 6th to here, it's downward again. All right, let's continue. Let's go back another. Okay, now you can see this is an obvious upward momentum. Let's see where that started. You're going to be, so this is should be very surprising to you, unless you already saw the video that I saw. But take a look at this. Here's, again, the 6. Boom. Now what's happening? It's going up. Are you seeing the pattern here? Let's zoom out here. Let's go and zoom this out real quick. All right. 1 month up, next month down. Next month up, next month down. So what do you say is going to happen over here? What do you think? What do you think is going to happen on June 6th? Somewhere right around there. Based on this past performance, which you really can't always assume is going to be an indicator of future, but I would be willing to bet that we're going to see another upward trend. So, I mean, this is only February. So you go down. So let's look one more. Let's look one more here, just to confirm. Let's take this. Let's copy this, and let's drag it back to January 6th. Boom. See that? Look at that. Isn't that freaking cool? I mean, it's not cool that the market went down, but just look at the fact that, you know, it's very obvious. Let's say maybe even back here. Let's you know, I didn't even go back this far, but let's look. Let's look in December. Let's see if December 6th. All right. So I mean, it really didn't hold too good here. I mean, back here it was around the 11th. 11th here, and then it kind of falls apart last year, which I'm not sure why. Shift in maybe this could be algorithms. This could be a variety of things causing this to happen. I mean, there's a lot more money that's bigger than us as individual people here trying to do crypto trading, right? But I guess what I'm just trying to show you here is I think something good is going to be happening here soon. I mean, I don't know how much of a run up it's going to be, but in all intents and purposes, we should be going good until July 6th. Now, one thing you could do to kind of maybe try to figure out where that could be is do a pitchfork. So let's see something here. Let's pick that as the high, that is the low, and see where this pitchfork. Well, let's do a history one. Let's do from here to here, and let's go back here. Let's go to original. And then what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to pick a previous high or low. So the previous low would be somewhere around here. And you can see the tendencies. I mean, there's other things you could do here. You could do extensions, you know, outside. And you could see, if you look at this, I mean, from the low, it kind of hovered around this line. But basically they say, like, if you actually find a channel here that's going to hold, there's an 80% chance that'll hit the median. Now, you know, I could be off here with my, or maybe it should be a modified shift. There's a variety of ways to look at this. Yeah, it's certainly not a modified shift. Where is it? Let me go back to original. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to try and find, you know, something that makes sense in terms of here. If it maintains this channel, basically as it pivots off here, you have an 80% chance of hitting the median line. Now we didn't actually ever make it up there. That's probably because of all this extra resistance that we saw. So it still actually hasn't hit the median line. But this is just another way of like a channel, basically. What you will see though, if you kind of broaden it out, if you draw a line from like here up through here, it's held that line pretty good from longer term scale. And what other people are also sharing with people online here is that you know, we have a triangle here that's being created. So somewhere in the apex of that triangle is usually a breakout, and you know, depending on how many touches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, this could be the moment up. I mean, it could go both ways, right? I'm just being transparent here. Just because you have a triangle doesn't mean it's always going to go up. But basically what you're waiting for is it to break out to one side or the other on this triangle. What you normally do is you take the apex, which is the middle of this thing here. Well, it's not really like that. That's not actually good. Let me remove that. Let's just draw a free drawing line. It's like you gotta bisect it. So as it approaches here, the 80% of this triangle, which is somewhere right around here, depending on where it goes, if it's shooting upward or shooting downward, I basically, when it breaks out of this top end trend line or this bottom end trend line, is when you should do your trade. So, you know, again, I'm not giving you advice to do trades, but you know what I'm looking for is for it to break out there or break out somewhere down here. When it breaks out, it's going to go out and it's going to check it. So it's going to go, typically it goes up, comes back down, and then if it holds, then it's going to go up. So at that point, that, you know, on the way up and down, same thing. So if it breaks out, it's going to come back and check it. If it holds it and then it starts falling back down, that's when you buy. If it goes up, comes back, checks it. If it holds it and it starts going back up, that's when you buy. So that's for like a longer term trade. I mean, of course, there's always going to be opportunities in here to short and go up. So I guess what I was also saying is it's very hard for me to go negative on Bitcoin, just because I'm so positively biased on cryptos. But if you take into account this pattern that's been shifting and shaping up since January, of changing direction every 6th of the month, you know, maybe until July 6th, ride it up and then consider possibly for a correction. I mean, of any kind, actually, you know, there's always going to be corrections. So, for example, if we're waiting for this move here, you could do a Fibonacci-based extension. And basically, let me see, I haven't done this in a while. You could figure out how, let me clean this off because this is distracting me a little bit even. Let's go back to here. All right. So Fibonacci is very handy for you. You should learn about that. But basically, any move up is always going to have a move down again. So our last move down, it was deep. It went down to 76. A lot of times it stops at 65 or even 50. The algorithms target 50. So now, with this move here, the algorithm's targets are up here. So they're going to be waiting. So they're buying. If this is a good pivot, they're buying here, and they're going to wait till it hits here. And you got to look at the obvious resistance levels as well. We're getting a little long here, but let me just follow this through. All right, so there was a move up. Fibonacci will tell you that any move up, once the pivot happens, there's a certain percentage likelihood for it to come down to 38. There's a certain percentage for 50, a certain percentage for 65, and even less percentage. The higher percentage is 38. 38 is a common target for you to have a re-entry chance for the next move up. But as you can see, there was a fight here, and then unfortunately the bears won, right? It fell through. And then it fell through to 65. And now it looks like it's created the base here, which it acknowledged some ceiling here, right? The ceiling became a base, and now it's pivoting off. So what you do now is, so now that you believe that this is the low, now you want to see where this can go. And what you do is you use a Fibonacci extension, and you pick the low, the high that it went, and the retracement down that it had. And then from there, your targets are at least 100%. So typically, if this is a Elliot Wave, if this is a 1 to a 2, the 2 to the 3 has to be at least the length of this. So if you go from here up to 100%, this is a target right here. This is a 100% target for sure, and it's not that far away from the algorithm target. So you see how the algorithms are written to be based on Fibonacci. So somewhere in the 10,500, so something like that. The center of that is about 700. Somewhere in there is the target now for this retracement, this deep retracement back up to here. So if you're doing an Elliot wave, your Elliot wave would look like this. Go here, that's your leg 1. This is our leg 2. And now we're targeting somewhere here. Now, more than likely, it goes up to the 125, the 272 or higher. But just because, you know, this is an algorithm target, this is not a bad place to set your target 3. And for it to be, it has to be more than 1. For it to be valid, leg 1 and leg 2 to 3, 2 to 3 has to be longer than the first leg. So it really is probably going to be higher than that. And then another requirement of Fibonacci is that 4 doesn't go past the level of 1, and then it shoots back up here again. So then in order to really target, so really the target for this is really up here. This is really where most of the time you see the run. Like this should be really where it's going to go. And this is where I would be placing it till I start seeing some actions here of that. Now, the next thing you do is if you want to, this has to stay above here. And since this is very deep, the first one's very deep, the next one should be shallow. So if you do this, you start at this low and you make this the high, and then you come back down, you want to set that to be low. So anywhere between 0.382 and maybe even 5. Actually, 5.5 is probably, the algorithm target as well again. So maybe you set this here. So what you would be doing is right now, if you believe this is the low, you should be, long until it gets up to this part, up to here. And then as it's approaching here, you should consider, the resistance levels and other things. Like for example, right here, look at that right here. This is a resistance level. So if you take that into account, you start picking off some of these resistance levels where you could start seeing some problems with the price action. And these are all possible exits for your trade. So you get in here and you look to maybe get out if you see resistance here, because there's some there's some there. And then the next one would be right here. So maybe somewhere in this zone right here would be your sell, because there's a good chance it could fall over and fall back down. And let's see, at the 23%, there's a little bit right there. I mean, this could be another level. You know, so those are three things you got to start kind of taking in for yourself. Which one you'd be happy with? Like, you know, for example, let's do this, and then this is going to be it. So if you decide to get in here, you get in here. You know, most likely you probably don't want to go too much lower than that last low right here as your stop loss, and then you got to figure out how high do you want to go. I mean, do you want to ride it out to here? Right? So it's a 64% run. Or what is your percentage that you're looking for? Do you want a 50%? You want to target 50%? Are you happy with a 40%? You know, right here you get the 4-to-1 ratio, so you're getting 4 times, or you're making basically, you know, the risk to reward is 4 times. So you're going to lose, you know, you lose 10%, but you'll make 40%. So these are all the tools that you can use on TradingView to kind of figure out your strategy. Now, really, what you probably would wanted to do, you might be a little late getting in right now, but what you really should have been targeting is getting in as close to this pivot as possible, keeping this as tight as possible, and then maybe targeting the algorithm target, which is 50%. So you got a ratio of 20-to-1. That's awesome. Look at that, 15-to-1. You know, even if you keep it 15-to-1, so you're basically going to lose about $2,000, or you can make $36,000. So, you know, these are all the things you got to consider, and you got to kind of watch the Elliot Wave and the Fibonacci. You know, once you believe that the bottom was hit, and you got to look at these the RSIs and all these other things as well. You know, now you decide when the next time to get out. Now, don't get greedy, but you also don't want to, like, you know, leave money on the table. So maybe as it's going up, you take a 50% profit. You pull out 50% of what you put in. Or if you're long term, you just hold it, right? If you're holding it, this was an ideal opportunity to get involved. You could still get involved now, and you know, if you follow through, this is only when this accomplishes its run. This is really just the leg 1 of a new Elliot Wave, right? A bigger Elliot Wave. That this is 1. Now this is going to be 2 and 3, 4, 5, and you know, you're talking about some big numbers when you're talking about up here. I mean, you're talking about going like this. You know, so if this is, I'm not gonna be able to tell you right now. Let's see, 76. We'll probably go down to here, and I'll shoot up to 2, and I'll probably come up to here somewhere. So I mean, look, you're in the 20,000s when you start talking about this move. So just realize that this individual 5 wave that we're currently in the middle of starting is only leg 1 of a bigger Elliot Wave, which, you know, is probably going to take you through the end of the year to finish, right? I mean, think about this. This is just 1. All right, let me clean this off. Just let me show you one more thing. So it's fractal in nature. So there's a small one here, boom. There's a larger one here, boom. But there's even a larger one. When you clear all this off, and you really look at the bigger picture, let me just get all this off of here. Probably an easier way to do that. I know I've seen people do it real quick, but I did it the long way. All right, so for the largest picture, look at this. I mean, this is just one. We're just finished number 2. Now we're moving into a 3, 4, and 5. So this is the one that gets us to, 35,000 by the end of the year. When you just start playing out that, this leg and this leg at least has to be 1 to 1. Right? So if you do the Fibonacci extension, you go from here to here to here. You start figuring out like this one realistically should be up here, and then this one can't overlap 1, so maybe it goes 168 to 1. Maybe it goes down 60% there, and then you got to go even larger scale, not smaller, on a daily scale to really see where this goes. Right? This usually goes to 2, at least 2. This is how basically they're talking about a 50K, and we're in what? We're in June of 19. So from a year from now, very easily we can be up in the $50,000 range. By August, we can. I mean, it all depends, because you also got to consider this pitchfork, right? You got to consider this pitchfork from here to here, and just realize that chances are this is going to stay within these boundaries. So 35K, this might be long and drawn out. This could take us until the end of the year to get to 35K. Let's look at the end of the year. So maybe somewhere there, and then maybe this is somewhere like that, and this is somewhere, somewhere down the line there. So it's see the big one, and then there was a little one, and then there's a little one. So they're all fractal in nature, and you just got to step back sometimes and take a look at the big picture, and just consider the June 6th date that I talked about earlier. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm at 45 minutes, and I just keep talking and talking. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll promise you I'll try and make these shorter. I just got on a roll here, and it's just hard because I just like to keep talking about other aspects of it. And as you can see, I get excited with technical analysis. I'm an engineer background, so math and numbers and Fibonacci and Elliot waves, that's just all my lingo. So as you can see, I enjoy figuring stuff out and percentages, and again, we can't always bet on the past, but we got a 5-month track record of things shifting on the 6th of each month. So let's just see how it goes. Maybe on the 6th of the month or 7th, let's see if our thought process of of this triangle coming to a close and breaking out happens, right? I mean, just remember, like I just showed you earlier. I mean, there's a trend line there. And there's a trend line here. And we're almost there. We're almost ready for that breakout. I mean, this is probably going to be it, right on the 6th. Right there, boom. And again, this is just going to complete this is the 2. 1, 2, and now we're waiting for another impulse to start the next move up. And the next move up, very easily, if you, I didn't really show you in detail, but let's just take a look real quick. One thing, since I'm already past the time anyway, is not going to hurt us. But I wanted to show you like the possible moves that we could see here. So from April 6th, to May 6th, where were we? We're at 6,500, and we went up to 99. So basically like a 50% move. So based on where we are now, say it just stays flat, we're at 77, so that's like 35, 36, wait, 35 would be 70, so 38, so 10,000, 11,300, 11,000, somewhere around there. That could be our target for, and you can see it's pretty damn symmetrical in terms of slope. See that? Look at that. I didn't even mean to do that. And it's almost identical. So if this move is anything indicative to this move, we could look at 11,300 for a target. If it moves identical, symmetrical, so to speak. And you know, if this is a 1, 2 to a 3, this move has to be bigger than this move. So it has to be, chances are it's going to go past that. We could probably look at a, you know, maybe a $15,000, $13,000 to $14,000 Bitcoin at some point. Let's see. So for example, it has to be like that. It's a little steep. Well, let's just take note here. See how this was possible in this past month right here. It's a little steeper than this one, but this was possible from here to here. Look, so it could happen to be the same as this one. That's just, you know, just ways that you guys can kind of put targets on the map. And with the Fibonacci, those are the traps you're going to make. You're going to wait for it to hit that 76. You're going to wait for it to hit the 38. You're going to wait for it to hit the 50. And those are the times you're going to get in. So you're not going to just blindly buy. You're going to know based on the bigger money, right? The institutional investors, or the big money that are involved here, and the algorithms that are working. They're all written to work with Elliot Wave and Fibonacci's. That's the backbone of the algorithms. So all we're looking to do is get in and get out, ride the waves of these algorithms, tuck in after they execute, and they're gonna, you know, they're gonna shoot for the 50% or the 23% extension, and then you're gonna get out before they start selling. So you want to get in after and get out before, and you just chip away. You just work the algorithm. You duck in, like pretty much if you're like I guess on NASCAR racing, right? When you get your car behind another car, you avoid the drag of the wind and you get that acceleration, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're trying to follow that algorithm up, and then we're going to pull out before they start pulling out so that we don't start losing money, and we locked in our gains, and now we know they're going to sell, and now we know to wait and start picking our entrances to the next flip. Unless you're okay with going short, which I have a hard time doing, you know, if you wanna go short, go short. But I personally will just wait for it to come back down and get back in. All right, guys, have a good night. Sorry about the long video. It's been a couple days. I wanted to get this out there, and I wanted to throw some TA at you so you can kind of get used to it. TradingView.com. It's a great charting. You don't have to pay. There is benefits of paying. There's alarms and things you can do where you don't have to sit in front of the charts all day. You could just pick points of interest for you, and you can get a text message or an email saying that Bitcoin passed 10,000 or Bitcoin fell to whatever, and then you could go to the chart then and decide if you want to buy something or start watching it closely at that time instead of sitting here all day just looking at charts. So, you know, pretty much just money you'll spend on this will be easily made up in terms of the trading gains. There's a lot more to trading. If you haven't done it yet, you need to work on your risk management, your mindset. Don't let greed get you. Don't chase something. Sit back and relax. There's always going to be another trade. You don't have to be in the market all the time. Those are all the things you got to make sure you consider so that you don't end up over trading. You had a big trade, now you want to go even bigger, then you overextend yourself and your account gets wiped. You don't want to do that. Just take it as she goes, look for a certain percentage, come up with a trading plan, follow your trading plan, stick with your stop losses, don't start shifting your stop losses, saying that it's going to come back, it's going to come back, it's going to come back. Take the loss, get used to taking losses because there's going to be losses. But your goal is to minimize the losses and maximize the trades that are being profitable for you. So with that said, have a good night. I'm done talking. Sorry. See you tomorrow.